Welcome to Nomad Media, Automotive Tales, where we tell vehicle stories, a little bit of history as unique and personal experiences. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to another episode, and today we got Josh Harris here with his 1971, did I say that right?
Yep.
Pretty sure I did, Chevrolet C-10. This is the next one in the line here. This, Josh here, he saw the other episode here a while back, I think it's episode 25, yep. Beretta Taylor's C-10, and he really liked it and reached out, asked if I'd do it for him. By all means, I'm like, you got a cool car, a cool story? I'm all about it, man. Like, thanks for reaching out. Let's go and get in the story of your truck. This thing is cool. I drive up and I saw it. I was like, that's gotta be him. Like, this thing is a cool truck too. And
thanks, man.
You know, it's one of those things. It's very subtle. Yeah. I will say that, but it stands out there. It's so weird how that contradiction works. But it is very cool, but it's very subtle at the same time. But
I'm not a flashy guy at all, and I think it shows in my, the way we built it. You know what I mean?
Tell us about it. Tell us about your build.
We got this, man, I think about 10 years ago. It was in a field in Faulknerville, Alabama, about 30-40 minutes from here.
Yep.
And I went and looked at it. It didn't run. The bed was off like 100 yards from it. Rusted out, man. The whole cab, the top of the cab was gone. The dash was gone. The windshield fell out of it when we brought it home. I mean, it was just, the hood was all crumpled up. The grill is still on it. I did straighten it, but it had hit a pole.
We'll be showing these pictures as you're talking, telling things.
It was bad. And we drug it home, man, and tore it apart. And it took us 1 year to build, me and my daughter.
I can only imagine too. Like, these old trucks, they don't survive.
No.
Like, these things were work trucks. These are what people bought to just do work in, it's like, and we were mentioning this earlier as we were just talking, like, these things, you'd be lucky to get one that doesn't have anything wrong with it.
The frame on this was impeccable, man. It still had black paint on it.
Well, you're doing really good with just the frame being that good.
The rest of the truck, and in the South, it seems like they rot from the top down, oftentimes. This one it was bad, man. It was awful. The bed had sat full of water, so it was all, of course, full of leaves and dirt. And,
I'm currently dealing with that on one of mine. But
we bought a brand new bed for it and put on it. We didn't even fool with that.
Oh yeah, well, hey, get into some of the stories here. I know you told me about your daughter helped you with this stuff. Like, I don't know if that's where you want to start at. But
she wanted to learn how to weld, actually, and I was a welder by trade, and so we started on the truck. We took the cab off. We took it down to the frame. My wife, actually, and my other daughter, I have three daughters and one son. And
you're calling him a girl? Like, is he gonna watch this? And be
like, he gets mad when people say that. But we took the cab off, and them two kind of attacked the frame it was within a week they had it cleaned up. We did go through and replace all the suspension and A-arms, and we put some tubular A-arms and stuff under it.
What do they all think about this truck?
They love it. It's a family member.
It's kind of like, this is Daddy's truck?
Yeah. They call it Ivory because it looks like a bar of soap. But it's their big sister,
Does it slip and slide around like a bar of soap every now and then?
I took the locker out because I didn't want to total it out when I put the 5-speed in it.
Right.
But it's been my daughter, she learned to weld on the cab. We welded the roof skin on. We did buy new doors for it and fit them to it, but we put cab corners, rockers in it, floor pans. Then she built the dash all by herself. That's wild. Nothing like a 72 C10 dash or 71 C10 dash. But then we'd done the firewall, built hood hinges, and recessed them inside the firewall, and put like late model springs on the hood.
Yeah.
We put a 67 hood on it, shortened it 2 inches. Man, we hid the blinkers behind the grill. All them little subtle touches, that just...
You were mentioning with that hood there too, like something about the slant. Tell us about that.
It's a 67 hood. I couldn't find a 71 in good shape. I'd only looked a day. There's a guy in Tennessee, he's got a junkyard called think it's Truck Haven.
Okay.
It's Chuck, whatever. I can't remember his last name, but I just called him Chuck. I bought every piece on this truck from him. And I was up there looking around his graveyard, and he had no 71 to 70. I think it might be 69 to 72 that the hood's flat like that. I think it is. But the 67 and 68 had that slant back hood. But they're longer. They're about 2 inches longer, somewhere around in there. And he had like 3 of those, so I bought one. And I was like, it looks the same. I got it home and it was hung way off. So we measured it off and chopped it down and filled it, made a new lip for it and everything. It took a lot of work, but it looks good. It's one of those.
It does look very good. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it is one of those things, like for me, and I've probably mentioned this 100 times in different videos, where it's like, if you're not this particular truck or car or anything like fan, like very, very into it, those are those things that you would never touch, but you'd be like, man, something looks really good about this truck. It's just like, that's where you mentioned the subtle details. They come in, like those subtle things, they stand out the most sometimes.
We just wanted it to be clean looking.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't want it to be cluttered. I didn't even put trim back on it because it did have the bottom trim. And I like the trim, but I actually made trim for it out of aluminum, took some aluminum strips, and cut some trim. I got it in my shop, polished it out, made it kind of like spear pointed, like on the 2000 Silverados, like that way that chrome does. We polished out some pretty aluminum to put down there, and I never even put it back on it because I like the way it looked. Yeah.
Man, I think honestly, I like it better without the trim too. In all honesty, I mean, at least with your color, because I'm gonna have to go back and watch Mr. Tracy Boatler's vehicle again. He has a 70 C-10, and I'm wondering if his has the trim on it, because I know his truck is beautiful.
Is that the one with the white top, the blue and white top? Yeah, that's a good looking
and
truck.
I don't remember if it had trim on it, but I know with your color, it really fits here.
This truck's like a half breed too. This is a Ford color, which we painted in the backyard. It's 10 years ago,
I tell you, man, the whole thing about like originality and stuff, I get it. I get why you would do it with certain cars, or why you want to do it to keep value or something. But it's like, when you try it so hard for that original stuff, it's like, it makes it really hard to want to enjoy the car. And it makes it kind of not enjoyable in some cases. Like, I mean, this is my personal opinions on it.
I agree. 100%.
So it's like, when you do your own flavor to it, it makes it more fun, more enjoyable.
This truck has, and that was the key to, that was the thing when building it, was that it was going to be, my dad, he died real early in my life, but 15. And my parents, though, always had, this was my dad's dream truck. And he always had square bodies, though, because back in that day, you could afford pretty much all of them, but these were kind of getting that, they were the cool ones, And then my mom and stepdad actually had 3 of these at one time, I think. And then, so I grew up around them. I always liked them. And then in high school, I drove an orange one like this. It was a GMC, but it was a orange, 72, I think.
So this is kind of a throwback for you.
Yeah.
Then. You just wanted to get back into
me and my wife, man.
70.
First time I made out with the girls in the front seat. All kinds of stuff like that. So I really wanted to, I had a lot of memories in a truck like this, And then to get one that was cooler than that one, because nothing against long beds. I wish I had that truck back, but in school, you're not the, it wasn't this, you know what I mean? It wasn't
I know a buddy of ours is going to get at you on that.
I love his long, and he beat, this might be a little spot too. I think he outrun me one time in town right in here in Decatur. But that truck's bad. But I wish I had that one back, but when I sold it, I was on my own at an early age. So when I sold that truck, it was to kind of make ends meet and keep.
You kind of have to do what you got to do.
Yep. And I wish I had that one, but even better, I got this one.
Yep. So with this one here, your kids are helping you on it.
Yeah.
Dude,
we done.
How
so
long
many
has this been a
projects
running and driving vehicle?
Oh, it's been a daily for like 9 years.
9 years now?
Yeah, 9 or 10
in
years.
that 9 years, what all have you done in it?
Dude,
where have you taken
went
it? What have you done in it?
Mississippi. Me and my wife took this was special. This was the last trip we done. We done a Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Okay.
we're musicians. We got a band, JD and the Queens. Me and my wife do.
Shout them out, man.
Yeah, JD and the Queens. We it's actually me and my daughters and my wife, you know, but and my one of my best friends. But we play music a lot. So
where can they find you at?
On YouTube, Spotify, man. Anywhere you download music, Apple.
And that is JD
and the Queens.
JD and the Queens on YouTube, Spotify. Go check them out.
Everywhere you got music, but it's I have 3 daughters, so it's the Queens. You know?
Yeah.
We went to Clarksdale, Mississippi to kind of do the blues trail, you know?
Yeah.
Like go down all these old roads, but also to go see Robert Johnson, Buddy Guy, all these, where these guys came from. And the museums and all.
A little bit loud.
Yeah, a little bit. And the museums and all that's in there, you know, around that area.
Yep.
But we took this and we stayed at the Shack Up Inn, which is these shacks, like these one-room shacks you rent. And it was just killer, man. It's an old cotton gin, I think, but you get to go in there. It's a bar and everything, but I got to drive this, you know.
Yeah, it's just
all
fun.
Those miles and road trip it, and we've done that a lot. But I think more the biggest memories is going fishing in it, going riding around in it, going date nights in it, you know.
Yep.
Just all the stuff you would do as a kid that you got to do as a kid in a truck that you took for granted, you know.
Yeah.
Now we don't take it for granted as much. It's like they might, but I don't, you know.
Yeah, getting to do it in an old truck is one of those things as well. Like, I mean, you might not, like, you grew up with them. I know for me, I'm a little bit younger than you. My beard's not quite as white and as much, but
I'm almost 40.
Yeah, I'm a little bit younger than you, but you know, when I look at some of these older cars, I'm like, I didn't get to grow up with these cars.
Yeah.
You know, like I had newer vehicles and things like that. Now that I get the old vehicles, it's like, man, dude, if I can go out in my old car, I'm going out in my old car. There are certain things I won't, but
the only thing that I would change on this now, which I am building a big block for it right now, but so that is kind of a big change going to be in the truck. Kinda. Yeah. It's going to break a lot more stuff, but the biggest change, if I had it do over again, living in Alabama, I'd put AC in it.
AC?
Yeah.
Well, you got wing windows.
I got wing windows, and I got a heater. I stole it, but not like in the illegal sense. I stole it out of a forklift.
Yeah.
A little box heater, you know?
You got it out of a junk.
Yeah.
You got it out
of a junkyard, yeah.
So.
But I put it under the dash. It's like one of those
self-concealed price on it. I need a preference. I didn't steal it. Steal it. You got a great price on it out of a junkyard, right?
I did pay for it.
Yeah.
But I put a heater in it, but I wish I would have fitted it with air when I had it down. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, that's just one of those things, man.
Yeah.
You live and you learn. Yeah. Now, when you do it the next time.
But that's just because I'm getting older. I don't like getting hot and getting fatter and stuff, and I don't want to get sweaty.
It'll keep you thin, man.
Yeah, it does. Me and my daughter, like this past summer, we did the dash pad and the kick panels. You know, we always doing stuff like that with it. We done those projects this summer.
All right. Well, I tell you one more thing I want to mention here.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're winding down here, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, I want to make sure. I'm sorry I didn't cut out there,
dude. I was told you short and sweet.
I do want to hit you on this one here.
Yeah.
The toggle switches.
Yeah. Yep.
Tell us about the toggle switches.
That came from a little bit of necessity and a little bit of not knowing. Like, I know how to wire relay boards and stuff because I grew up working in marinas and boats.
Yep.
You know, they same way.
Oh, yeah.
But I wanted it simple, man. I wanted this thing, like, if I broke down on the side of the road, I could fix it on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And a lot of the old trucks are like that, but even you can improve on that still nowadays with, like, a painless wiring kit and all that stuff. So when I bought that, I wanted it to have, like, a race truck feel, you know?
Yeah.
So I built the little toggle panel and the relay board behind it, and that controls your headlights, wipers, heater. I've even got 2 spares, I think, that, you know, just in case I want to add something down the road.
That's really cool.
That is cool.
Like, it's just such a cool little, like,
and
touch to it.
It feels like, I don't know, I didn't grow up with them, but I watch them, like the Fast and Furious movies and all that stuff. It feels like a race car when you're over there flipping your windshield wipers all. Yeah.
He's got to turn his NOS on.
Yeah, you got a real
guys.
positive click switch.
That's what he says. He's got 2 spares here. He's putting a big block in. We know what he's really doing.
I love that feeling though. That cool, like old car,
Oh yeah.
race car style stuff.
Next thing you know, you got to talk your daughter or your son, daughters or son, into like putting some LED lights or something on. When you turn it on, it's like something happens. Like
I did. The reason I went with a 5-speed, it actually had 3-speed in it initially, and I put it back together with a 3-speed.
Yeah.
And you couldn't drive it 40 mile an hour, with the gears and all. I think it's got 410s in it.
Wow, you still have 410s in it?
Yeah.
That's wild, dude.
And but with a 5-speed, man, it'll go down the interstate 80 mile an hour.
Well, yeah, you can set your gearing in it, yeah.
But
definitely.
the reason I done that was keep the girls out of it. But then my wife went and learned how to drive a 5-speed and ride a motorcycle and all that during this time, so she can drive it now too. So.
Well, it's definitely better to teach them young to drive a 5-speed, at least these days, because it's like.
It is a theft deterrent.
Depends. It is a theft deterrent. Depends on the person, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, because I know old cars aren't everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, old cars are the way to go, no matter what. I'm not that guy.
No, I got a new Yukon too. So
well, I'm just saying. But like, if you can get those manuals still, you're most likely gonna get them in an old car.
Yeah.
And if your kids know how to drive it, it's like, well, hell.
That's what I meant by half-breed too. That's a Tremec.
Tremec 5-speed?
Yeah, out of a Mustang, like a, I think we pulled it out of a Cobra or something, but at a junkyard here, about 30, 40 minutes away. But anyway, if you get the input shaft the same, it makes putting them in a lot easier.
Yeah.
You can buy all the rest, or make all the rest of the stuff and buy it, and then the drive shaft. But the drive shaft's another story. I went through 3 of those, but.
Tell us. You can't just leave us on that. Like,
well, we got it done. Me and my brother was testing it out.
Yep.
And he pulled out on the Danville right here, and he said, "Man, can I get it?" I was like, "Do it, man." Well, he hit it real hard, and it just died. The truck just died, but it had this loud, it looked like a grenade went off. It sounded like a grenade went off.
Right.
And these have the trailing arm suspension has basically a drop shaft loop. So all we could hear was that,
Oh,
First one was
just flopping around under, doesn't it?
The hanger bearing,
Yeah.
Well, it was all new. We had it done at a place in Huntsville, and it busted all that out. So we come on, and then the throttle cable broke on top of that. So we had to tie a wire to it and drive it, lift it off. Well, when we got home, we fixed all that, put a new throttle cable in it.
Yep.
Then we took it back out. It wasn't 400 miles later. I was doing a burn, on private property.
You were doing a burnout.
Doing a burnout.
You can say it. It's fine.
And I heard something that went like, how a bearing will squeal?
Yeah.
It sounded like that, but it didn't tighten up. It sounded like that, and then it just popped. And then the motor would just rev, and I could hear the clanking again. I broke the front U joint in it, and the yoke. If it's not, this motor probably don't have. I'd be surprised if it's got 320 horsepower. You
just dogging it is all.
Dogging it, man. Just popping the clutch the wrong way and stuff like that.
What that means to me though means you're having fun.
Dude, we were having a blast. We broke this truck. We broke this truck probably 10 times, and people get on to me for that. They're like, "Man, why do you drive it like that or treat it like that?" I was like, "Dude, why not, man?
Drive it like you stole it."
Yeah, my kids, some of their favorite stories are when we broke it,
Yes. Hey, that's how you make stories. That's how you make memories.
We actually thought we blew the motor up twice, racing, like playing around and stuff like that, turning it too hard. It's not a big motor. It's a junkyard build, man. It's just a bunch of parts that were good that we threw together. I would say it probably makes about 300 horsepower, but it's 300 fun horsepower that you can have fun in town.
300 horsepower is nothing to scoff at, all right?
Yeah,
so
no, it's fun.
A lot of people don't understand. I'm going to stop you on that one just for a second, all right? A lot of people don't understand 300 horsepower is a lot of horsepower. Yep. I mean, modern day cars, they get it relatively easily, but it's all kind of like, there's an understanding of horsepower as well that people don't have, where it's like when you say 300 horsepower, a lot of people are saying peak horsepower.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting a steady 300, you're having fun there.
It feels good, man. This thing feels good.
A modern car, like all these that people are probably seeing right behind us and stuff, a lot of them probably have 300 horsepower.
Yeah.
But the thing is like you're out of 4-cylinder or something. It's not a constant thing. It's built up over time.
And you got room
stuff
to
like
use it around town, you know.
Yeah, you know, you're not using 300 horsepower, but 300 horsepower in something like this is like, it's just a lot of fun.
With
but 300,
like
the point though is 300 is a lot of horsepower.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, that's nothing to scoff at. Like my Charger, which I think people on the channel at this point are going to be aware that I have.
Oh yeah.
My Charger probably doesn't have 200.
Yeah.
Like, it probably doesn't have 200 horsepower. So it's like 300 is a lot of horsepower, right?
There is some good stuff on that. It's basically a 327.
327
with like the 305 HO heads, you know, that we pulled out of a junk. I think they're 305 heads. They got like 194, 160 valves.
Maybe somebody
valves.
will be correcting you in the comments.
Yeah,
I'm
sure
have
they
you.
will.
I'll just have you paying attention to that.
They were low, like it had like a very high compression head, you know.
Yeah.
It rattles if you don't put good stuff in it, you know. But it made it fun. We just mainly everything in it was stuff we just had laying around, you know, that we put together.
I forgot one more thing,
and
then we'll move to you know, listen to this thing run. All right.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned about these wheels.
Yeah. Yep.
Tell us about the wheels.
The wheels are 15x8 truck rallies that we had, and I like the width. I like the way they looked under the truck.
You might not be able to see them right now, but I'm sure you'll see them in the picture I put up over us.
This is a 275/60 15, which I always like the way they feel out of truck.
Oh yeah.
And I bought the hubcaps at Love's, and I went home and I really wanted like a steel wheel, but at the time of building this, we couldn't afford to go out and buy a new set of wheels, you know. So I took these wheels, and I do have a lathe in my shop, and I turned these little nubs down. I made me a template off the hubcap, and I drilled into the wheel and welded the little nubs on. And it just accepts a hubcap now.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you. I'm guessing your kids helped out with it.
Yeah, my daughter helped that too.
I love
Actually,
that
my wife done that with me.
your wife did it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you and your family like took some time, put it into this truck. I'm sure everybody in your family loves it.
Yeah, this was a full family build.
Hopefully, this video here, I'm sure you're going to share it with them. You know?
Yeah.
Hopefully, they all like it. Maybe they're going to get their own car. Maybe they'll call me back and they'll want to do it like Daddy did or something like that.
They have theirs now, actually.
But with that, how about we get to listen to this truck run?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right.
Right on.
And there you have it. That's Josh Harris and his 1971 Chevy C-10. Josh, I love hearing about the family trucks and things like that. I love that it's a family thing to get this truck running on the road. I'm sure everybody in your family loves it. And you know, that's just me. I love hearing this stuff. Like, I'm not the guy that ever wants to see a truck like this, you know, go away. So I'm really hoping it stays in your family for till the end of time, till it's in the dirt again, because you bought it in the dirt.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
until it's in the dirt again. I hope it's not out of your family, you know. But with that, let me hand it over to you. Is there anything you'd like to tell the audience?
Yeah, I very much plan on it staying in my family for the rest of my life, at least.
Yeah.
And my family, like I said, we built the truck together. We have a band together, JD and the Queens, and we play.
Talk about it. Plug it, man.
We'll be playing the
proud.
car show here at CarQuest at the location here in Decatur, and man, we like to rock, have fun, and spend time together as a family. And this is a living, breathing example of us as a family. This is a great representation of it. And that's about all I got to say on it, man.
Man, that's awesome. I'll be sure to link all of your information in the description down below.
Right.
Hopefully you've got something on a Facebook page or something somewhere where they can get your events to come and see it.
Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube page.
That way they can see you in person, hopefully. They get to see your truck if they want, if they're so inclined, you know, and all that good jazz. But man, thanks for taking some time out of the day to talk to me.
Thanks, man.
Hey, I'm glad you reached out as well. Like, and please, if anyone out there has something they want to reach out about and talk to me about, I'm more than willing to come to you and talk to you about it.
Right on, man.
With that, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I'll see you at the next car show, okay?
There you have it, folks. Be sure you like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.